Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about the growing threat posed by the Houthis to Israel, and more importantly, I will talk about the only practical, sustainable solution that government officials, media pundits, and military leaders do not really tell you. The Houthis are a tribal Islamic militia. They have been launching missiles to Israel. They have been attacking ships on the Red Sea, including in the Eritrean water territory. Modern technology now allows missiles and drones to be deployed with exceptional flexibility and mobility. The Houthis hide their stockpiles deep within Yemen's vast and rugged mountains, making them nearly immune to air striking. So far, the Houthis have successfully closed the port of Eilat. Ships in the Red Sea are delayed by 10 to 15 days. This is not a strategic loss, it is an economic disaster. Their missiles and drones are terrorizing millions of Israelis, sending millions of Israelis into bomb shelters. Just a few days ago, their missiles hit the Ben Gurion airport directly. That was a direct hit, not just physically, but symbolically and strategically, Israel's sovereignty. Now they are threatening something more worse, air blockade. And when the Houthis threaten it, we have to take them seriously. Yes, Israel has the best air defense system in the world, but let's be honest. Even if less than 1% of their missiles hit a strategic target, the damage to Israel would be significant. The damage could be devastating for Israel. And for the Houthis, the propaganda victory would be enormous. Some people in Israel hoped that when Trump came back, the US will hit harder and it will deter them. But the truth is, the US already tried that. The Biden administration was striking the Houthis in Yemen. The Biden administration, the Trump administration even hit harder to the Houthis the last 1 month and 1 month and a half, but it didn't work. The Houthis are not deterred. The US reached an agreement with the Houthis. They just signed a silence for silence deal without even consulting Israel. They just left Israel to deal with the Houthis alone. And the Houthis continue to attack Israel. They continue to launch missiles to Israel. So it's very clear. Air strikes alone will not solve the problem, will not deter the Houthis. The Saudis almost took a decade to realize this. The US figured it out in less than 2 years, and they made a deal with the Houthis. They made Israel to deal with this alone. And also Israel has to understand, Israel cannot address the Houthi problem only through airstrikes. In Israel, there is a delusion that airstrikes from 2,000 kilometers somehow will deter the Houthis. Many pundits in Israel, they talk about maybe using a different weapons, maybe changing a different target. Let's be real. The Houthis are jihadist fundamentalists. They don't care about infrastructure. They don't care about civilian casualties. They don't care. It's like Hamas. It's like Hezbollah. And frankly, there is not much left in Yemen to bomb. Last time, Israel struck non-operational airport and a cement factory. These are hardly strategic targets. Even worse, some Israeli leaders, even the defense minister, Israel Katz, believes that targeting Iran will stop the Houthis. That's also a delusional. Yes, the Houthis are backed by Iran and funded by China, but they operate independently. They have their own ideology, their own agenda, their own goals. They are not Iranian puppets. So the Saudis' airstrikes failed, the American airstrikes failed. So what's the Israeli airstrikes failed? So what's the real solution? The only easy, practical, and sustainable solution is a ground operation in Yemen. That's the only solution. But who's going to do that? The Saudis, they don't have a big army. The Americans, the US, they don't want to send their troops to Yemen. The Yemen war is very unpopular in the US, and certainly not Israel. So what's the path forward? So the only way forward is partnership with a country that have the military capability and the strategic interest to neutralize the Houthis. That's the only way. There is no short or quick fix to the problem. It's about a long-term regional strategy. It's like the modern version of the Ben Gurion peripheral strategy. But here is the hard truth. Israel is completely disconnected from that part of the region, mainly the Red Sea and the Horn of Africa. The Houthis are not fighters. On the ground, they cannot stand up to a serious, multi-front, well-organized, and well-resourced offensive. So, Israel needs to stop fantasizing about airstrikes, but start thinking in terms of strategy. The Saudis and Americans can afford mutual silence deals with the Houthis, but Israel cannot ignore the Houthis threat. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe and share. See you in the next video. Thank you.